Today marks a huge milestone. This video right here is the 200th long form video that I have sent to my editor for the Real Estate Agent Playbook. And I am going to show you a little bit behind the scenes with screen share exactly how I create content. Because the truth is, this is 200 on this platform. However, I have done many more on my production channel at Jeremy Kane Homes. So I want to show you exactly how I am doing it, exactly the tools I use, and what happens after I'm done creating and recording the video. I will go through all of that with you, so stay tuned because you won't want to miss this if you want to be consistent in YouTube as you build your real estate business. What's up, guys? I'm Jeremy Kane with the Real Estate Agent Playbook. Super excited for this one. Like I said, a milestone, but that's not what it's about. I want to give you a tactical way that you can create video content and tailor it to your audience without having to do all the scripting and all the keywords and all the things, record, edit, all of it. So I'm going to go through that. If this is something you would like a little more help with, please reach out. I would be more than happy to help you build any part of this maybe that you don't understand as I'm going through it, but it's absolutely the key to my consistent video creation, and that's exactly what I want to bring to you. Because if your goal for Q4 or going into the next year is to get onto video once and for all, this will absolutely help you stay consistent, create the content, and absolutely grow your business through video, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the things. But first, like, comment, subscribe if you are interested in this or anything else growing your real estate business organically. That's what I'm here to do. My goal is to help you win every single time I can at the game of real estate. So let's roll. So first and foremost, I don't need a screen share option to help you with this. If you are sitting down to create content and the only time that you tap into your creative senses is when you're sitting in front of a camera, sitting in front of your computer, you will miss a ton of opportunity, right? The echo effect is a massive hack for growing content. And that is when you hear a question or, you hear a question more than once, you want to create a video to answer that question, not only to save you time, but it is an absolute moneymaker for content. And so what I do is I have a notes form in my phone. It doesn't have to be an iPhone. I'm sure you have something where you can keep notes in your Android devices, but I just have a note and it's called content creation. And I do have two channels, one for my production business and one for my agent attraction business. And so I have two different notes in there. And every time I come across an idea or I'm listening to a podcast, I just jot down the idea. I'm the type that if I have the idea, I can go back to the source. Sometimes I put the link to the podcast or something in there so if it's really detailed. But usually if I have the title, I can kind of put myself back there when I do sit down at my desk to plan out my, scripting and descriptions and tags and all of those things for YouTube, because that's specifically what I'm using. However, with Facebook, with Instagram, all those things have extra steps to make sure that your video does exactly what you want it to do. So that's the first step, is always be, a sponge and have a space to go. Right when you get a content idea, bam, bam, bam. Right when you get a question for the second time from a buyer or a seller, throw that in the notes so that you have ideas, because the easiest way to get writer's block is to just be like, yep, I'll remember that. Yep, I'll remember that. You sit down in front of the camera with the lights and the computer. You're like, okay, I want to start creating content. How do I do it? Right? That's not what we want. And ultimately, if you are really focused on your avatar, like we talk about so much on this channel, that's who you're serving. So the more you serve them and the more questions they ask, that's the content that they want. So it helps kind of narrow it down, but it also helps, with creativity, because you're not reliant on, this one moment in time when it's content creation time. You have all of that to come from. So not rocket science there, not anything earth moving, just something I have done. So what I do after I come to the notes is I come to ChatGPT and I'm like, okay, we're going to do a video on this. Now I will start to share my screen here, and a couple caveats as we go here is I do have a GPT programmed for my language style and my personality and, my avatar. This is not necessary. If you just went to ChatGPT and you did 4.0 or whatever you're using, you could use these same prompts in this same workflow. It just might not be as personalized to you. So for this one, we're just going to use my Jeremy Kane Homes Ultimate Social Media Guide. If you would like more information on building a GPT for your language style, your personality, your avatar, please just reach out to me. You can shoot me a DM over on Instagram at the RE Agent Playbook. But for now, we're just going to use this, right? So I am going to do a September 2024 market update. So I'm going to say, please help me create a long form YouTube video framework for, and spelling isn't super important, but I'll try and keep it real, for the Denver and the suburbs real estate market update. I will upload a few documents that I have collected that I would like you to use in assisting me in the process. I would like this video to be informative to my client avatar and encompass pieces of the information I will upload. Please create a main point bullet script outline, and I can help build upon your initial output. Perfect. So you can put in here whatever. I want you to be a real estate expert for, families, or, whatever your avatar is, you can put that in there, but that's all kind of in my back end. So what I'll do is I'll do that. I have this Agent Ignite market update outline that I got. I also have this DMAR market trends, because I'm in Denver and my realtor board puts this out. So I'm actually going to save this entire document, and it's going to pop up right here. As you can see, I'm going to come back into ChatGPT. I'm going to pull those in. So you can get as prompt heavy as you want, but I'm just here for the, information. So we're going to just see what it spits out. So as you can see here, it's essentially reading these documents, right? This document here is, just an outline, but it's pretty good. And this document is 28 pages. So if you're thinking about how to shift through all of that and, come out with something, then we're here. But for instance, we just have an opening line. The Denver real estate market is shifting fast. Interest rates, inventory, and job market changes are all impacting home values in ways we haven't seen in years. Whether you're buying or selling or just trying to keep up, here's everything you need to know, right? So hook with fear factor. This is something that I have built in. With potential foreclosures rising, even among $1 million, homes, let's break the latest data. I would probably say that that's not true. So I'm going to read through here and I'm going to say, I would probably say intro hook with fear factor. Let's make this more of a play on the headlines that the market is going to crash and foreclosures are likely. So it's just changing it a little bit, right? Because obviously we hear that a ton, but in Denver, we literally have very few distressed properties selling every month. So I just want to make sure and go through it, as we go, highlight the recent fluctuations from 6 to 8%, discuss the impact, see it puts call to actions in here, explain the difference between new listings and active listings, talk about seasonal trends, and it gives me an example, dive into the uptick of foreclosures, all of this. So I'm going through this and, we'll go from there. And then it talks about buyer opportunities, seller advice, wealth building potential, and then summary and call to action. As you can see here, it built in a video description we're going to get a little bit further into that, but let's just change this and see what it spits out. So I'm just changing the fear factor just a little bit in the messaging. Everywhere you look, there are headlines screaming that the real estate market is about to crash. Foreclosures are ticking up, even in high-end neighborhoods. But what's really happening here in Denver in the suburbs, right? Perfect. So that kind of spun it in a way where we're still grabbing that fear factor, but we're going from there. And so that's good. I'm going to say, perfect. Can you please put this into the outline? And it's going to do that. And you can change as many things as you want, but for time purposes, I'm just going to, allow this to roll. And sometimes you hit enter and it takes a little bit depending on its thinking and what's going on. So we just have to be patient. We have to exercise that. So what will happen is it'll spit out, my outline. Okay. And this is absolutely massive for me, right? I just literally created a script outline in 15 seconds based on knowledge, data that I absolutely know is there and exists. And if I wanted to even say, because on 4.0 it does search the internet, please stick to just the documents that I uploaded instead of pulling in internet data. Let's see what it does there. So you can be very serious with it. You can work back and forth. I always say please and thank you because I want to be on its team when it takes over. Just kidding. My good buddy Adam Gillespie says that agents will not be replaced by AI. However, agents that are using AI will definitely take market share and could potentially replace agents that aren't using it. So let's see if this changes it any, right? Talks about the headlines. There's the fear factor I liked, interest rates. It's just giving straight to the data now, a little bit less, nitty gritty and pulling from all kinds of different sources, which we don't know are valid. What we do know is the documents that we put in there are valid. That is perfect. Can you please provide me with 10 title ideas that will best pull out the most shocking talking point in this script? Let's see what it says. So I said this is good, right? So this outline's great. Now we're going to see what it says as a result. We can maximize this because we don't need those anymore. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you hopefully can see it. And as we go, here we go. It's moving. Okay, so Denver real estate crash, foreclosures rise in $1 million markets, Denver housing market in crisis, what buyers and sellers need to go, foreclosure surge. Now, this is all just picking off that main fear factor, and that's not really what I want, and none of this is actually true. So we have to be careful because it's just taking the information. It's not like it's a living, breathing thing. Maybe this one headed for disaster kind of playing, buyer selling. This market shift could be, I would say I want less drama as this really is a flat market over a market ready to bust. So literally, I'm just saying exactly what I think. Maybe market red flags, what Denver's inventory spike means for you. That's not terrible, right? We'll see what else comes, though, after they tweak it just a little bit. Denver real estate market updates, pretty boring. October market check-in, Denver housing prices and trends. Denver home prices holding steady, what this means for you. Stable but shifting, the latest in Denver's real estate market. No big surprises, Denver's update with key takeaways. What a balanced market means when Denver's... I'm honestly, this is the one I want. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say, I would like to move forward with this title. And I'm just going to cut and paste it into there. And it's basically just telling it that that's the title we're going to use, and that will make sense here shortly. So again, the time, between, but that's okay. And as we kind of grow here, it'll say, okay, boom, let's roll. Introduction, it gives me everything. Now it's added the title, as you can see here in my outline. Now I would like you to give me 5 complete thumbnail ideas for my graphic designer. And you may be your graphic designer, but I outsource that, as I'll discuss in the final phase of this video. But as we go here, we'll put that in, and now we have the script outline, we have the title, we're gonna have a thumbnail, some thumbnail ideas that I can pull from. And so as we go here, it should pop up, boom, let's go. And here are 5 thumbnail ideas. So it gives me background, it gives me everything, overlay, caution sign, exclamation point, side-by-side home listing photo for sale, indicating a rise in listings, close-up of a worried person for sale sign, a panoramic view of Denver skyline with subtle overlay of upward downward arrows, a split screen with image of Denver one side, for sale sign on the other. Out of those, and again, you could ask it again, I think this red flag alert is huge, right? The only problem is I don't want red flag in there. So I'm actually going to ask it, can you come up with 5 more, especially with unique imagery? And you'll notice that it'll kind of give you the same ones. It'll be like, put a graph in there, put a split screen in there. And I don't necessarily like that, and especially since I've done 200 videos. My content has seen a lot of those kind of standard thumbnail ideas. Now, I want you to understand that I send this to a graphic designer and they kind of take the general idea and just make it happen. But it's something that I can do to kind of have my hand on that. Okay, why homes are sitting here with clock. This is probably a good one, right? So let's go with number 2. I like that one. Now, can you add to the previous description provided? I would like to add keywords that may be searched by my target avatar that capture the headline keywords as well. Some that I would like to include, and I use vidIQ and TubeBuddy and all the things, but just for purposes of this, I'm just going to put in there Denver real 2020 home purchase mistake, buying a home in Denver, relocating to Colorado. So just some basic ones in there, and see if we can kind of capture those and add them in to kind of what they already had as a description. Important to put keywords. It's important to say, the title as many times as you can. YouTube does, pull the transcripts and, compare it to the title. Obviously for this one, we're going to, talk about my content, my consistent content creation. That's why I've said that a few times in the video. But for this video that we're doing here, I'm thinking of buying in Denver, Colorado. In this video, I break down some of the red flags, current Denver market, especially recent inventory spike. I'll cover the trend, means potential buyers, avoid pitfalls like 2020 home purchase mistake. Whether you're looking at steady investment or relocating, understanding these shifts can make a big difference in your real estate journey. If you're ready to make the move or have questions in the Denver market, reach out to me. So it adds these keywords into it. I always ask it, can you remove the list of keywords and just keep them in the flow of the description. So as you can see here, it's just kind of basic things that go into it. And then it has JK Realtor Instagram link, all these things. It has all of this information, but for some reason it didn't. So you can make sure that you put those in there, because it's not just going to know that in your final thing. Please provide the final choices in a simple cut and paste format. So I'm asking it now to put it in the order that I have asked for it. You could put, title, thumbnail, description, script. That's what my order is, but however it works for you. And then I'll show you where I kind of pull that in. So once it comes out with this, it's a simple cut and paste formula. And here we are. So it has my title, it has my description. Oh, it doesn't have everything. See, sometimes these bots are a little bit hallucination ridden. So can you please provide all of the info we worked through and the final choices. Please put in order of title, thumbnail with all info, description, and bullet point outline script. And so before I used to just have it all just cut and paste from every single place, but I like to have it all in one, so I'm prompting it to do so. Let's see here what it spits out. But overall, what I'll do here is I will take this information that will dial in, see how it has my title, see how it has all the information, except for I only want the one. So it's, as you can see here, it's struggling a bit, but then I have my bullet point outline. For thumbnail, I only want which one did I want? I want number 1. Or whatever. I only want number 1. Please remove others and please remove others. So as you can see here, I'm still saving time. Typically what happens is it spits it out right the first time. I can cut and paste. And then what I do from there is I simply put it into my content calendar and my team can see that. I then have to just record the video. I have a big screen here and I have this here. As you guys know, it's almost like look in the camera, deliver. And if I need to look over here and get something, I'm quiet, so my editor knows to cut that part out, and then I look back in the camera and deliver. But as you can see here, they have trimmed all that down. So what I can do is I can just cut and paste here, has my call to actions, has everything. I come over to my content calendar. I'm gonna say September 24 Denver market update. Boom. I'm gonna come into here and I'm going to add it as an activity. And I'm going to make sure I save that so it's all there and ready to go. And then I'm going to change the title. And it's saved now. It has all of this. So then what I do is I come up here. I have a screen up here and I actually have it right behind my camera. And I can just have this script outlined so I can go through it one by one and just deliver the message, right? And then once that's done, okay, so, here it is. I have all this stuff. Everyone has access to it. Once it's done and I record the video, then what I do is just pull the video, put it in a drive. My editor then takes it and he edits it. And as we get back to him editing it. He goes through it. He sometimes sends it to me 200 videos in. He knows exactly what I want. He's on time. He does his thing. And then he uploads it back into the drive. From there, I have a VA who has information, all this information about posting it and everything, and she can upload it. She knows the days and the times that I want to upload it. And so she uploads it and it posts, as a consistent time. She also takes the raw form of that and she cuts the shorts out of it that you see on my Instagram at the RE Agent Playbook or JKHolmes_. And so all of that is done, and I'm just creating the content with the help of AI. I'm recording the videos, and I'm just making sure that, the process works. So overall, that is absolutely my 100% idea on staying consistent on video is I have to have assistance. I can go into my, social media GPT and say, hey, I don't have a ton of ideas right now. Do you have some for me? Since it knows my avatar and everything's plugged into that, it can shoot that back to me. So I hope this helps you. It seems overwhelming at times to create content over and over again. But when ChatGPT came on the scene, the beginning of this year, I was able to streamline my efforts, make sure that my VA was, doing everything that I needed them to do. My team around me has absolutely adopted, the system. And so that's exactly how that works. So that's it. All I do is record 3 long form videos for, a week, and that is the majority of my content. Now, I also do some shorts where I'll record 30 to 60 in one shoot. I have my video guy come out. He, films those, then I send them off to my VA, but that's a whole different, ball game. But ultimately, 3 long form videos a week for the last 2 years across 2 different channels. And it's all due to this system and process that I just showed you. If you want help or you would like for assistance in building your GPT, I have a ton of resources. Just comment below or DM me over on the RE Agent Playbook, and I'll be happy to help. I can't wait to see your video content come to life with your personality and getting out there, because the truth is that there are still very limited number of agents that are on video, and even less that are consistently creating content that the avatar actually will view. So I hope that helps. Please let me know if I can do anything to help you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast, and go get yourself another win in the game of real estate this week. Bye-bye.